podcast. I'm ready. I was born ready.
All right.
Welcome back to the Big Brown Sack.
Woo! We're back, baby. This is episode 3.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. We had our Valentine's Day episode. Then we had our President's Day episode. And would you look at that? We're just full of holidays and celebrations because welcome to episode 3. And what is it, Day?
Lenten episode.
Get your freaking rally caps out. Get excited. Get pumped up. It's Lent, folks.
And whether you're Catholic or not, you gotta admit it's fun to spice things up in your life.
Whether you got ashes on your forehead
yourself.
Or not,
Big
we
time.
welcome you to participate in the Lenten season. So, pretty excited about the episode today. How are you? But how are you doing, Day? How are you feeling? Are you feeling good? You had a pretty
full.
rough. You had a pretty rough. Yeah, full. We just had some good food. But you were pretty stressed out at work. How are you doing, Day?
Man, I feel like I'm just doing what needs to be done and going through the motions. And without getting my emotions involved. Going through the motions but not getting my emotions involved. Typically, when I have a week like this, I'm like emotionally wrapped up in it and like far more stressed, but I'm just like doing what I can. I'm compartmentalizing. I haven't had really space to do the things I normally like to do in a week, like go to yoga and like call my grandma. Like I can't think about those extracurriculars.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to think about those extracurriculars.
Well, hey, you know what? Maybe you give your grandma a call tomorrow. And the idea of being able to compartmentalize your work life and your outside of work life, it truly is such an important skill that really not many people talk about.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm doing that kind of compartmentalizing. I'm like
Misunderstood.
I'm removing my emotions from what I'm doing. Just to get through it.
Which, in particular in sales, working in sales, that is probably another good skill to have.
Yeah.
Take your emotions out of it. It's not personal. It's not personal that we're going to bite and scratch over $2,500 over the next 3.5 days.
Yeah, I don't really know how I feel. I'm just doing what needs to be done. It's interesting because when you're so busy and you have so much to do, you don't really have time for the bullshit.
Okay, try this out. Close your eyes.
Okay. Because you can tell I'm having like a hard time.
You're having a hard time understanding how you feel right now, so let's try an exercise.
Okay.
Close your eyes and just try to be present. We're on the Big Brown Sack right now. Try to be right where your butt is. Right smack dab on this Big Brown Sack. Close your eyes. Be present. Maybe take like a deep breath in through your nose. Deep breath out. Close your eyes. You're not closing your eyes. And repeat after me.
Are you making this up?
No.
Okay.
Right now.
Right now.
I feel.
Go
ahead.
Constipated.
Well, there it is.
That's the problem.
You're backed up. You're backed up, dude. You're backing it up.
You know what else I think contributed to the week being weird?
What?
Our near-death experience.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is the first time on the Big Brown Sack ever that we are going to have an agenda for you.
Yeah, we came with talking points.
We're trying some new things.
We didn't want to run you guys in circles, you know.
Right.
We got you guys.
We got you. Listen, if you're going to come along for the ride, we got your back. Here's an agenda. All right, so we're going to talk about the Lenten season. I like to get the people involved, man. I like to get you guys involved, so I put out another Instagram poll. We're going to read some answers of what should I give up for Lent? And potentially, Dayna, you can use some of those answers too, because I don't think you have given anything up yet. You don't know what you're giving up.
No, I thought we were coming to the Big Brown Sack to talk it out, you know, throw some ideas across the room.
You forgot. Okay, so we're going to talk about Lent. We're going to talk about our near-death experience. Oh, my God. What happened?
I mean, did I bring it up in a supernatural way and we could have just gotten right into that talking point?
Yeah. We'll start there. We'll talk about our near-death experience and maybe why Dayna's backed up. We'll talk about the problem with reality TV. If you watch reality TV, you're going to want to tune into this one. We'll talk about this is my hot take on hot food. And if we have time, we'll talk about what we're going to do on the next episode. And spoiler alert, we're going to have our first guest ever. Guests. And that's all we're going to say. Guests. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but maybe... Excuse me.
Oh, come on.
Sorry. But that's our agenda. Maybe we'll get to it. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll go for 30. Maybe we'll go for 45. Maybe we'll go for an hour. But strap in, folks. And if you're listening to this, you can probably see on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, the 3 platforms in which the Big Brown Sack is available. You could probably see how long this episode is. But we don't know how long we're going to go. We don't know.
You know more than us.
But Dayna.
At this rate.
So you got some constipation. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, first of all. It's hard.
It's not easy, I'll tell you that.
It's not easy. We do have a squatty potty. It's been helping. Look, folks, don't be embarrassed. Everybody poops.
Don't sleep on a squatty potty.
Do not sleep on a squatty potty.
Get one.
And I want to thank my friend. I won't say who he is because I don't want him to be embarrassed that he introduced me to the squatty potty. But you know who you are. And you listen, and this person listens. I have
a particular person in my life who introduced the squatty potty to me as well. It takes like a friend to let you know, like, hey, like I care about you. Look. I want you to shit more because it's good for you. I got this recommendation.
Only real friends care about your poops.
Yeah,
that's what we're trying to say.
Yeah.
So get yourself a squatty potty. The idea of hiking your feet up a little bit in the air to take a little bit cleaner of a shit sounds a little bit crazy, but I'm telling you it's worth it. Anyways, we had a near-death experience. And are we being dramatic for the podcast? Not really. No.
Well, you know...
We actually almost had our last day on Earth.
You knew more facts about the situation than me, so I didn't start getting like... oh shit moment until you were like, we should be dead right now.
Yeah, well,
like, I didn't get it.
I think it hit you because you got emotional. You got really emotional in the car.
I got
emotional
talking
to your dad.
No, I didn't get emotional when I was talking to my dad. When my mom told me everything's gonna be okay, that's when I like started crying.
You let your old guard down, didn't you?
Big time.
Your mom gave you the safety to let your guard down.
Yeah. My dad was like, oh, yeah, you should be dead. And then my mom was like, everything's okay. I've done this before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, here's what happened, folks. So, basically...
Look, I'll say I did it. Okay?
We don't know.
In a blue moon.
We don't know, Day. We don't know.
I appreciate that.
Because there's a wrinkle in this, which is we woke up in the morning, didn't really notice anything.
Look, okay. Let's start from the top, okay?
Okay.
I once in a blue moon decide and feel generous enough to cook a meal for my man.
And it's funny because we actually we did our last podcast right after you cooked that meal. We were talking about it on the last episode.
Yeah.
So,
yikes, so
we actually recorded our last podcast right after Dayna cooked last week because I love cooking. I don't cook because you make me.
Yeah, no.
Or
Joe
that you like
cooks
don't
all
want
the time,
to.
Loves cooking.
I really enjoy doing it.
Yes, and that night, like, I could tell you probably weren't going to cook. So I was like, you know what, let me pull my weight around here.
Yeah.
I felt like it, though. I was in the mood. I had, like, the ingredients for, like, a unique dish that I could make. Went to the store that day, whatever. I make this meal. I'm super proud of it. And we do the podcast. We go to bed. We wake up. We go to a coffee shop. We play chess. You guys heard about the routine.
Yeah, we wake up. We don't... nothing's
awry.
weird.
Nothing's out of the ordinary. Yeah. We come back, open the door, and a waft of gas,
like rotten egg
smell hits us in the face.
Hits us
and we
in
go,
the fucking face, dude.
What's going on? And Joe goes, is the fire on? Or like, is the stove on?
Well, I went to the furnace. I went right to the furnace because, like, you hear about furnace leaks. And they say, like, oh, if you smell rotten eggs, like, the gas has a additive in it to make you smell it so you can detect if something's awry. And usually it's the furnace. So I went down to the furnace, and I could tell it wasn't coming from there. And then walking upstairs, the smell got significantly worse. And so I was like, okay, what could be leaking up here? First thing you think of is gas stove. I go over to the gas stove. And
no, I go to the stove.
You hear like a little like.
Not true. Not what happened.
Okay, what happened?
I run upstairs because we walked in the downstairs.
Yes.
I run upstairs. I look at the oven. I call you to me.
Yes.
I go. It was on. I turned it off. It was on like level 2.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe just like goes white in the face and like in shock just says we should be dead.
Yeah, well,
I was like, huh? Like I didn't know that could kill you for some reason. I hadn't heard about it.
Yeah, well, there's an episode of The Sopranos where I forget why, but for whatever reason, I think maybe for like an insurance claim or something, they want to blow up this restaurant. And this is literally what they do. The guy like puts the gas stove tops on without the flame, and then he just like lights a match and throws it in there, and then the whole fucking place explodes. And so we've had this gas running out of the stovetop all night long. You could smell it. It like smells bad. And I don't know if it was because we got used to it overnight or whatever, but it was weird because we also didn't get lightheaded or we didn't get nauseous or anything like that. And that was like a lot of what the internet was telling us. If you get exposed to the gas, that you will have this, lightheaded or nauseous reaction. And then that's when you should go to the hospital. Mm-hmm. But neither of us felt like that. Mm-mm. So in my mind, I think maybe we even like bumped it that morning or something. Like either you or I.
But neither one of us went anywhere near the stove that morning.
Yeah.
We walked through all of our steps. It was on all night. But so I accidentally left this stove on. You accidentally left that big window open.
Right near the stove.
Which potentially
saved our life.
So
my ineptness of responsibility canceled
combined
out
with mine equals
canceled yours
we're
out.
alive, baby. What's that?
We're alive. And so we looked it up online, and I mean as soon as she tells me the gas has been going through the thing with no flame, I'm like, okay, so I throw the hood fan on over the stove. I'm turning all the bathroom vent fans on, regular fans on, opening windows, turning on lights, take out my cell phone. I Google, like, what do you do when you leave your gas stove on? And
well, while you're doing that, while you're running around the house, I'm looking it up on my phone what to do.
Totally.
And then I say, Joe, we got to get the fuck out of here.
Because you saw, it literally says...
Every article online is so scary.
It's so intense. It's like, find the source of the gas, turn the source of the gas off, open one window and get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, they're like, you will be tempted to open the windows and fans in your house, but do not be tempted to do so.
Get out.
Priority is get out of the house immediately and call 911.
And maybe turn the heater. They're like, maybe turn the heater off if you have time.
Yeah.
Because they're like, don't use your cell phone, don't turn on any lights, like turn your heater off if you can, like
don't use your cell phone.
Well, because they're like any electrical change or charge at all, because it's such a flammable environment. I think it's just like, don't try it. But
I mean,
like,
thank God we didn't light anything.
oh my gosh, like we could have, waked and baked. We could have lit a candle. We could have
blown up.
Done anything involving.
There was a moment where we seriously had to consider if someone came in here and tried to kill us.
Yeah, well, because I thought we would have smelt it in the morning if it was on all night, and neither one of us went near the stove in the morning. And so it's still a little bit weird to me. And again, maybe it's because I left that window open and literally saved our lives. Because you called your dad and he was like, if you guys left the gas stove on all night, you're really lucky to be alive. I don't know how it didn't just... Because I think it's the same idea as people that, go into the garage and turn the car on.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of time before the air is unbreathable.
Yeah.
So... It
was just such a strange day. We were rattled. We didn't know what to do with ourselves. We went to the mall, and then you were like, fucking, I'm so happy to be alive. I need a Five Guys burger. Got you a Five Guys burger. I was like, I haven't let myself have a jelly-filled Krispy Kreme donut in the last 15 years because I deep down must hate myself. So now that I'm alive, let's go get one of those fuckers.
Yeah, it's like... I think my grieving process was similar. Like that day, we literally went to Five Guys.
Yeah, like what food have we not let ourselves eat in a while?
Yeah, it was I kind of went through like the oh my god, holy shit, to okay, I'm just very thankful to be here and really don't know how to process this, to like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't be here. So like, let's get a Five Guys double cheeseburger. To then the next day, I think it kind of set in a little bit more. And I was just, it's weird how it just kind of puts everything into perspective. Like I had a pretty rough work week the week prior, last week. This week, I mean, it wasn't like anything was drastically different at work, but I'm just so happy to be here, quite honestly, that I'm just really not letting things get to me.
We're on this wave of like, wow, life is so fragile. Like,
life is beautiful. Every day is a gift.
Don't sweat the small stuff.
Don't sweat the small stuff, man, because
even if you think it's big, and even if it is big in your life, like realizing what actually like it, it doesn't matter. It might be like affecting your work or like a really big chunk of your life, but
yeah, and I was even listening to last week's podcast because I do all the editing and producing and all that good stuff, and I just hated how negative I sounded on the last episode, if I'm being honest. Like, our lives really aren't that hard. We're so lucky.
It ebbs and flows.
We are so lucky.
But maybe we needed that wake-up call. Maybe it was a wake-up call.
Maybe we needed it, because honestly, I had a much better week this week
too.
Than I did last week, but... man, that was crazy. So if you ever do accidentally leave your gas stove on, first of all, like definitely double check, especially if you're new to cooking or it's not you're moving into a new home or you're maybe away from home for the first time, whatever, or you're just getting into cooking. Make sure you turn those fuckers off. It's part of our nighttime routine now. It's like, are the doors locked? Are the lights off? Is the gas stove off?
Big time.
And if you do happen to leave it on for an extended period of time, don't turn on fans, turn off the gas stove. I would probably turn off your heater or AC.
Open some windows.
Open a window or two and get out.
No fans. Just
and get out.
Forget the fans. Yeah, and get out of there.
Count your blessings, bitch.
And count your motherfucking blessings, bitch.
Bitch. Well, cool. That was our near-death experience, and now I would love to talk about the Lenten season, if that's okay with you.
Let's do it.
So, first of all, I sent out.
Well, are you Catholic?
Am I Catholic?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm not a good Catholic though.
What's a good one?
I'm a fair weather Catholic.
What's a good one?
A good one is someone who attends the Sabbath regularly, someone who prays regularly, someone who lives out the word of the Lord every day and is mindful.
Every single day, just to be a good Catholic, you have to do all those things.
Well,
That to me makes like a great Catholic.
I don't know. But sin is inevitable. I mean, even good Catholics go to confession and can confide in their sins, and you get forgiven, which is like, I don't know. Is that the right message? That's a topic for another day. But yeah, I don't go to church that much. But I mean, I come from a very Catholic family. I do believe in God.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I haven't been to church in so long.
Yeah.
And but I do try to be mindful, and I am going to give something up for Lent,
Oh, fantastic.
which is why we're here. But we're also here because I put out a thing to Instagram today, and we have some responses that I want to read off because we like to get the people involved. I know some of our listeners do this, and so here is our Getting the People Involved segment. Let's get the people involved!
Oh, yeah. This is such a bop.
Let's get those people involved. Yeah, it's that kind of thing we got going. I just played it off my iPhone. You guys are gonna like that, or you're gonna love it, or you're gonna hate it, or you're gonna get over it. So here we go, getting the people involved. What should I or Dayna give up for Lent this year?
Was that your question?
No, I just said what should I give up for Lent this year. My specific question was what should I give up for Lent this year,
Poser,
and I said
dude. Poser.
weird answers only. So let's see what people say. So, my cousin getting involved. Hot showers. Give up hot showers?
What?
Oh my gosh.
Why?
Cuzzo.
Ask why. What in the
What
world
the
would
heck?
make you choose that?
Why do you want that pain on me? Anyways, we appreciate your involved.
I'm shook.
Next
Wait,
one.
is Lent to like
Lent is until
torture
Easter.
yourself?
No, Lent is from now until Easter. And technically, you're not supposed to eat meat on Fridays. That's also part of it.
Ooh.
You can eat fish, which is weird, but that's the rule.
Okay.
You can have they have fish
I
fries.
mean, I know. I remember this. I went to Catholic high school. That's a story for another day.
That's a
but-
story for another. That is right. You're a little Catholic. You're a little Catholic over there.
Sure.
This is one of your friends.
You guys know what I mean?
This is one of your friends responded, toilet paper, and then in parentheses, bidets only. Whoa.
Is the point of Lent to pick something like just to make yourself miserable?
So,
Like, I'm not going to use toilet paper.
I think...
I'm not going to take a hot shower.
Well,
what's going on?
Here's maybe the backstory, and I think I have this right. Again, I'm not too
Do your best.
freshened up with all of the stories, but I believe Lent is supposed to symbolize, like, Jesus spent, like, 40 days or something. I think it's like Lent is like 40 some days. Mm-hmm. And Jesus spent 40 some days, like, in the desert, basically, like, suffering and barely surviving. Mm-hmm. And so people are supposed to, like, give something up and struggle. Like, you're supposed to, like, struggle.
Oh, okay.
To
Then this
when
makes
you-
sense. This makes sense.
yeah, when you give something up, and that's supposed to, like, be your gratitude to the Lord for dying for our sins.
Okay.
You feel me?
Yep.
Okay. This is I would say, like, mutual friend, probably more so.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, it
Just
doesn't
say the answer.
matter. Yeah, what am I doing?
Don't care. Just what are people giving up?
Next answer. Paying for feet pics. So that's probably a shot at me as saying they're assuming that I pay for feet pics.
Okay, so your question
Is
was
what should I give up for Lent? So they're like taking a shot at me. And then the next one is another shot at me. They said your virginity. I should give up my virginity for Lent. Real funny, man. Okay. I've done it. All right. I've done it at least 5 or 6 times. Okay? At least 5 or 6 times.
He swears.
And dude. Oh my gosh. I mean, this is, it's just like,
People, you should have said, "What are you guys giving up for
yeah, this
Lent?"
is just, people are just being, I mean, this is just goes, all right, I'm just going to rattle these off.
Next time, consult me.
Yeah, you're right. Listen, this one's on me. Accountability, I'll take it.
Next time, run it by me.
But I'm just going to rattle these off because my friends are just freaking
Worthless.
dorks.
Okay.
Next answer is boners. Next answer is fucking. Next answer is my dick. Next answer is, okay, the use of your hot tub. That would be a struggle. We would suffer.
Rude.
We would suffer, for sure. We would suffer.
Yeah, because we just got it. So.
Oh my god. Okay. What should I give up for Lent? And then this person just answered, well, I'm giving up secretly eating the foam that's that's stuffed inside our couch pillow.
What? Have you seen My Strange Addictions?
Well, I'm giving up secretly eating the foam that's stuffed inside our couch pillows.
You should respond like, "Are you okay?
What's going on
Are
there?
you okay?"
That is a strange addiction. I've seen some weird stuff like that on My Strange Addiction.
Yeah, no, this girl like ate a whole couch.
What?
Yeah.
Ate
It was, like,
a whole couch?
Someone actually got addicted to like eating her couch.
Eating. It's like my huskies. They eat the fuck out of couches too. I'll bite the leg clean off a couch.
Yeah.
Maybe she had she's got that dog in her, dude. Yeah, she liked eating that couch just because she just had that dog in her.
Yeah.
Giving up all the rest of my fucks.
Okay.
Someone said. Okay, you knowing my friend group, what do you think this last answer is?
It's just so broad, but maybe jerking it.
Yep. Nailed it. Fapping. This was the specific answer.
Ew.
Nailed it. Oh,
that's the worst word.
They got my friends pegged.
That's the worst word for it.
Worst word is for.
I bet a lot of people give up masturbation.
What's the best word for it?
Lent? What?
There's not a good one when it comes to the old. Any way you shake it, you're going to come out the other side feeling a little awkward about what you said. So I think the best way to talk about it is just, I'm going to go.
Not talk about it.
I'm going to go, and I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way you can get away with it.
Okay, so what are you giving up for Lent?
Oh, I'm not off the hook. I am going to give up. Well, it's also funny. My mom said, I'm going to give up ice cream.
Ooh,
come on,
lame,
no. I love ice cream. Ice cream is awesome.
I know, but like, are you really going to be suffering? Like, you don't eat it that much.
What? Look, I'm just trying to give up something. Like, at least I'm giving up something. Right?
No, I don't think so. I think
I'm not going hard enough.
You have to do it. Like, if you're going to do it, do it.
After my go all the way speech
the
last
way
week.
You're approaching it is kind of like a New Year's resolution. Like, I'm going to try to eat less this to like better yourself, not to like suffer.
Well, I'm going to suffer not eating ice cream.
No.
Yeah, I am, dude.
But you really don't eat it like ever.
All right, hot
Twice
shot.
a month.
What are you giving
Twice
up?
a month, maybe you eat ice cream.
All right, hot shot. What are you giving up?
I don't know.
All right. Well, what?
Something that will make me suffer.
Like what?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Hot showers is sounding pretty good. Just kidding.
Stop eating. You're gonna stop eating the foam in the couch. Well,
I think sex probably.
Whoa.
Hey,
Yeah.
boy, ain't no fucking way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
I think
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
makeup would be cool.
Makeup? That's a really good one, actually.
Makeup's a good one.
Do you think you could do that? Would you do that?
Yeah, I don't really wear much. It's during the week.
Mm-hmm.
Because I turn up that bass tune on my Zoom, bruh.
And get you right.
So my customers think maybe I had gotten myself ready that day, but they don't know what's really on the other side of that camera.
Yeah. Shout out to Zoom for putting Sephora out of business.
Yeah.
Who needs them?
But I like wearing makeup when we go out to dinner and stuff.
Yeah.
What's another good one? I want to know what actual legit,
maybe you should do something.
Legit Catholics are giving up to make themselves suffer. Hot shower makes a lot of sense to me now. Toilet paper one, can't get behind it.
I could write in my family group chat. You'll probably get some good ones
I would love
there.
to know what your family is giving up.
I got
for
a
Lent.
great family. Highly recommend this. If you have even a family that remotely keeps in touch, start a email thread or preferably a text message group chat. Mm-hmm. Because my family started one probably a couple years ago, and it's so active, and people share stories in there. And it's just a great way of
So cute.
keeping up with everybody. My
So cute.
cousin just had her third child. It's another boy. And that's just fun. It's just fun to hear
You guys should have a Facebook group.
that. Yeah, that's kind of like what it is, but it's just over text message.
Yeah.
And it's not social.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you can make Facebook groups private, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It just feels intimate
Yeah.
over text.
Yeah.
But highly recommend
I
doing
love
that with your fam.
I love that.
I'm sure a lot of people do that already, but if you don't, we only started
I
doing
don't
it a couple years
know. I don't know
ago.
if people do that. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. My grandfather tells the best stories in there. So much family history and great stories.
He's an incredible communicator.
He's an incredible writer.
Mm-hmm.
These things that he writes, it's just fun to read.
Yeah, it is incredible.
It inspires me to write better, honestly. Because he writes so beautifully, and you could tell he, really puts thought into the words that he's using. And he does have a pretty big...
So meaningful and intentional. Great vocab.
He's got a big vocabulary. Yeah, I was going to say that. Big vocabulary. I heard this quote recently: the extent of your vocabulary is the extent of your world. So essentially, the more words you know, the bigger your world gets.
What about for deaf people?
Well, it'd be the same thing because they can still understand language, reading and stuff,
Yeah.
and being able to put thoughts together.
Duh.
What's a word that you learned recently? And do you almost feel like it opens up your world a little bit when you learn a new word?
That's so interesting. It is kind of like a door into Kaizen is a good one.
Kaizen, great example. So this is more of a language thing than a vocabulary thing, but same idea. So Kaizen, what does Kaizen mean, Dayna?
If I remember correctly,
Well, just the general idea. You don't have to give the exact definition.
I'm going to have to look it up. I don't know. It means something along the lines of peace in business or something.
Sorta. So Kaizen is a Japanese word, and I think the definition is something along the lines of
Why don't we look it up?
continual improvement.
Yeah.
Constant and continuous improvement, or even just the having focus on constantly improving, kind of getting 1% better every day.
Yeah.
Type
Can
idea.
you look it up exactly?
Kaizen meaning Anthony Bourdain talked about this in one of his Parts Unknown episodes. I want to find that and see. Kaizen is a Japanese term meaning change for the better or continuous improvement. So I kind of nailed it.
Nice work, Joe.
It's a Japanese business philosophy that concerns the processes that continuously improve operations and involve employees. So like you hear about like the Toyota car factories, like how efficient they are because they're just constantly improving their process over and over and over and over and over.
Yeah, great work, Joe. Incredible memory.
Thank you. I'm going to see if I can find that Anthony Bourdain episode, and I'll just edit it in later.
Sure.
How about that for you? So here's the episode of Anthony Bourdain.
Pretty fast, huh?
The concept of Kaizen, improvement, central to the study of any martial art. It could be said also applies to cooking.
And if nothing played just then, it's because I couldn't find it. Okay, so let's see. Dayna.
Wait, I haven't picked what I'm getting up for Lent.
What are you giving up for Lent? That's what I was going to say.
Really?
No, I was going to move on.
Well, okay, move on. Let's move on. I don't know. I think I suffer enough every day.
Oh, no.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. But if you are suffering...
In my dreams, every night.
In your dreams you do.
I'm fine.
Gosh, hey, if by chance you are listening to this podcast and you've got a remedy for bad dreams...
Hit us up.
Hit us up ASAP. Could you hear that?
No, not really.
Okay, good. Just guzzled water. But anyways,
Coconut water.
speaking of suffering, there's a problem with reality TV, isn't there?
Huge issues with reality TV.
So for the young listeners out there, Dayna, what is the problem with reality TV?
Well, look, I was just watching a reality TV show this week, and, they pick the hottest people.
What show?
Because people want to watch hot people on these things. And so only hot people get chosen to be on these things.
Yeah.
And by hot, I mean, like, the women have great asses, the flattest stomachs I've literally ever seen in my life. I don't even know how it's possible. And typically some big tits.
Some tiggled bitties.
And it's like you can have it all. And so when I'm watching reality TV, I start wanting bigger boobs and everything else that they have.
Yeah.
And I start really contemplating how I can make my finances support this dream. This dream that can really never be met, because you get boobs. Then what do you want?
Then what,
And it's just, I don't know if I'm ready to go down that path. I don't know if I have the emotional, mental, or financial bandwidth, to be frank.
Well, I will say that at one point in my life, I will admit that I gave someone a hard time for a plastic surgery procedure that they did. And I've always regretted that. And I think that it's your body. Your body is yours. Your body is a temple. It is for you. And if there's something that you wanted to do, and it was safe, that's your decision.
Mm-hmm. But it's less about that, more about how reality TV is a dangerous game.
So the problem with reality TV is that it makes you want fake tits.
Yeah. It also makes me want to make out more. Like, God, we're not doing enough making out around here. They're making out every 30 seconds in these shows.
Yeah.
It's like, damn.
Yeah, got to get my numbers up. Huh? Got to crank these numbers up. Mm-hmm. What do you say we take a break? Nah. We'll make up for it after. But so what is the show that you're watching right now?
The Perfect Match.
Netflix, right? Mm-hmm. It's kind of like a Love Island. It's like a low budget Love Island.
The lowest budget I've ever seen for a TV show, and no one's talking about it. And I don't know how to start the conversation.
I'll start it
like
for
I
you.
can, I can post a TikTok or whatever, but The Perfect Match, lowest budget of all time. One of the challenges was just guys doing push-ups. Another one of the challenges was like eating hot peppers.
Yeah,
that cost 50 cents.
Yeah, the one that was the best was like they had to untie like a rope with knots in it.
Yeah. Another one, they had to untie a rope.
I was like, were they supposed to get like a shipment in and it didn't get there, and they were like using just the shit that was in the whatever the guy's truck was that was there that day?
Yeah. One of the challenges
Anybody got a rope?
Too. One of the challenges was like, okay, here are these 3 like floor mats, like placemats on the floor, each a different color. Whoever gets on this mat is the most compatible. And so someone just like ran over to the mat and was like, it's us. And then they all had to go around and say like why they think they placed like first, second, or third. And then the guy was like, okay, cool. Well, that's it. You guys won. Like the people who just ran to the first mat first. It was so weird.
Yeah, I was going to try to not admit this to save my pride and manhood, but I was watching this with Dayna. And
nothing wrong with that, gentlemen.
You are just kind of watching it and you're like, this is like something we would do if we were hosting a Friendsgiving party. Like, we could put on this event right now.
Yeah.
Like, you go to any local party store and you can get all the shit that they have on this TV show.
Yeah. And the dates are super lame too. It's like a little wine tasting, like, okay. Paddle boarding was a date.
Yeah, like The Bachelor, they're going up into planes and shit.
Yeah.
These guys...
Like, if you're gonna be a reality TV show, make it a show,
yeah, dude. They're like going to Chipotle and they're like not even letting them get guac. Dumb.
Couldn't get behind that one, but it's like don't put on a show if it can't be a show.
Yeah. Don't freaking half-ass it.
So
Go
weird.
all the way.
So weird.
That's a playback to last week. The real listeners get what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you do.
Dayna.
Any other problems with reality TV we want to talk about?
So many, probably. So many problems. I remember when Jersey Shore was big, that, like, Hollister made them stop wearing their clothes. Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. They were like, they kept, like, different clothing brands were like, you're not allowed to wear our clothes on your show. And there was, like, some Italian people that were so mad and were like protesting the show, like, this is not a fair representation of our culture.
Oh my god.
That show was kind of like, I think people say like The Real World was the beginning of reality TV, right? But the Jersey Shore is kind of what made, or I guess The Bachelor, was The Bachelor before the Jersey Shore? Well, that's like two different things.
Yeah, there's like reality TV shows that are like chaotic and problematic.
What were those like foundational?
And then there's reality TV shows around like love and dating and hooking up.
I think the first like love dating show I remember was the Flavor Flav one. Do you remember that? It was like on VH1.
Yeah, I do.
What was it called? It was like Flavor Flav Shot at Love.
It was the woman, right?
What?
The woman?
No, Flavor Flav is the guy who wears all the clocks as chains. Mm. Do you know what I'm talking about? He's like kind of a real skinny guy. And he wears like hats that are too big for him and chains that have full-sized like alarm clocks attached to them.
Yep.
And he had like all of these crazy women. fighting over him.
Yeah. Oh, well, I guess you would also consider like American Idol reality TV.
Wow. American
whole
Idol
other-
is definitely probably more foundational than the Flavor Flav one.
Yeah, I think so.
Probably. Dude, I remember
America's Got Talent. Now
they-
they have like weird shit like the Max Singer and all this
Yeah.
other bullshit. I'm like, guys.
Masked
stop
Singer is
trying to make
different. The Masked
something
Singer
out of
is like
nothing.
celebrities.
Dancing with the Stars.
Dancing with Stars also celebrities. But the thing with American Idol is in America's Got Talent, do you remember there used to be like really shitty ones? Like I remember it was like Sue Hale. Do you remember like Sue Hale on American Idol or something like that? Well, here's a clip of that. And if nothing just played, it's because I couldn't find it. But yeah, there used to be like really shitty stuff on American Idol, but now in America's Got Talent,
Oh, like shitty acts?
yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it would be
that's
like
some
funny.
of the best part.
Yeah, it'd be funny, but now they're just so. It feels like all of them are
Good.
good. And
No
maybe just
fun.
I haven't watched.
And like America's Got Talent where people get up there and it's like,
yeah,
what the fuck?
yeah. How crazy is it that Howard Stern used to do that? He used to be a judge
Yeah.
on
That's how I'm familiar with the guy.
America's Got Talent. I guess he probably did get a lot of fans from that. Probably a good move for him.
Yeah. He was a good judge.
I should do that
He
for
was
the
a good
podcast.
personality.
Bring some fans of the podcast. I'll see. I'll let them have me host America's Got Talent. Never mind. I was joking. That's gonna be one we edit out, huh?
Yeah, you lost me there.
Yeah. Well,
Want to tell them about next week?
next week is gonna be fun. Well, before I talk about that, is there anything else you want to talk about today? Is there anything you need to get off your chest? Anything on your mind? Anything you want our listeners to know, feel, consider?
Hope you guys are doing all right.
Yeah, me too.
Don't take life too seriously, but just seriously enough to keep your livelihood going.
Mm-hmm.
And stop scrolling on TikTok.
Yeah, you can scroll a little too much on there.
Yeah.
I like what you said about don't take things too seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody should take their life too seriously because
It's a balance. You have to take it
Yeah.
seriously enough so you like keep your job and like can pay your rent and your bills, but like not seriously enough to like let the haters bring you down, you know.
yeah,
And
totally.
you can be your own hater, so you also have to think about that.
Yeah, don't be a hater. That's one of my I try to embody that on this is to never be a hater.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a hater for sure.
You be sipping on that haterade.
I'd be sipping on that haterade. I get up every morning. I have a big glass of blue haterade.
Yeah. But hey, next week I'm really looking forward to I have some friends coming into town and I didn't even really tell them much about the podcast, but they were like, "Can we be on it?" And so next week I would love to welcome my friend Colin and my friend Kiki onto the podcast, so you guys can look forward to
Kiki.
that.
Do you love me? Are you ready?
They're gonna come on. They've been my friends since. I mean, I posted a picture of Kiki and I today because it was Kiki's birthday today, and we've got to be like what 10 in that
Yeah.
picture. So young, Sue Young. Reporting for duty, Sue Young. We were Sue Young in the photo. I've known those guys forever. It's going to be fun. I'm trying to prepare some questions for them just based on things and how they've impacted my life over time and what I think is unique about them that, you know, if we would have anybody else on, we wouldn't talk about. And so we're going to see how it goes. Let us know what you think.
Am I going to be on it, or is it just going to be you guys?
You're going to be on it Dayna, you are the talent.
I'm the show, yeah.
You are the show.
Okay.
The show doesn't happen without you.
Okay. Cool. Glad we're on the same page. I'm just kidding. Oh, by the way, I have Friday off.
Nice.
But you guys
we're
are
going to be skiing.
skiing, yeah.
We're going to be skiing all day. So
I'll find a way to entertain myself.
Yeah, but keep an eye out for that podcast. Really looking forward to that. Dayna, if there's one thing you want people to take from this episode, what?
I just gave it to you.
No, I was saying, what do you think about our listeners? But that was also...
What do I think about them?
Well, I was like, is there anything you want?
We don't have any.
I was like, what do you want? Well, this is a different... I'm framing the question differently.
Okay. Gosh.
I can't remember exactly what I said, but you can rewind and hear it if you want. But what is the one thing that we talked about today? Like, if people listen to this, what's one thing? What is the one thing you want them to take with them?
Well, I really don't know, but I can tell you what I took from the conversation.
Let's hear it.
Which is, I did learn that Lent, whatever you give up, is supposed to make you suffer. And I think that's really interesting. I didn't know that fully.
Yeah.
And that's just interesting to me.
Yeah.
So, glad I learned that.
Yeah, it seems like every religion has some sort of tradition around suffering. Intentional suffering.
Yeah.
So, wonder what that's all about.
Yeah, I do. Well, suffering is unavoidable. So it could be interesting to put it into practice and like make your suffering intentional, because you're going to have it. You're going to have suffering no matter what. So how do I channel my suffering to the right places or in a way that can help me grow? I get it.
It's so odd, and I think it all just goes back to the balance of life. You know, in Star Wars, they say, there has to be a balance in the Force. The Force can't lean too far one way or the other. And that is the super lorky way of saying there's balance. I just genuinely think there's balance on Earth and in all things. Like, every action has an equal and opposite reaction.
You do say this a lot.
Life is suffering, but life is beautiful. And there's beauty in suffering. It's weird.
Yeah, there's a lot of good in our world. There's a lot of bad in our world. There's a lot of really good thoughts I have. There's a lot of bad thoughts that I have. But I don't believe that. I try not to believe that if things are going super good, they're going to end up going bad. I try not to believe in balance in that way. Yeah. I used to. I think quite a bit in my teenage years. I would
with
always,
good luck is kind of.
I would always be scared that if my life was going really good, there's a shit show coming just right around the corner. Things are going to get bad. And that take away from you being able to enjoy the good. So.
Yeah. I remember I used to think, even in sports, if I had a really good first half or a really good first couple innings, I was like, okay, something bad is going to happen now.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Or if I got a call my way, if the ref made a bad call or something, I'd be like, oh, well, I'm going to get screwed later, probably.
Yeah.
Just naturally had those thoughts.
Yeah, totally. I would think that too, just about my day to day. I had a really good day today, so I'm going to have a really shitty day tomorrow. And guess what? I'd make it shitty to align with my belief in that.
That motherfucking brain of ours. That evil son bitch.
Evil son bitch.
If you didn't hear that ASMR, it's time to wrap it up, folks. So, this is us signing off. Episode 3. The start of Lenten season. I hope if you're out there listening to this podcast...
You're probably suffering if you gave something up because you're supposed to be suffering, and we hope you're doing okay.
Yeah, and we're 55 minutes in, and so if you're still here, you suffered probably through this. And we appreciate that, and we appreciate you. We love you. We love doing this. So stay tuned for next week. Thank you so much for listening. This has been episode 3 of The Big Brown Sack.
XOXO.